Oh, it's Stu.
J. Clark, how are you?
Oh, not bad. How's it going for you?
I am in need of help. My daughter, she started selling fake library cards at school, and now she's in trouble. She's got to give a presentation on rules to make it all better. I have this short film. I think she can use it, but I want you to look at it. Will you?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, bless you. Yes, because you do this instructional designing, yes?
Yeah, well, I've been working as a senior instructional designer for quite...
Brilliant. Oh, I need to go. My boy is torturing the goldfish. Leo,
Huh, okay. Well, let's take a look at this. School rules, how they help us. Ah, Professor Glock. He's one of the best collaborators there is. I know that much. No. I love you kids this much.
Rules in action.
Come on, you guys, just one hug.
Rules that keep things going smoothly and fairly.
All right, come on. Man, this beats homicide.
Rules that help us get where we're going. Help us work together and play together and live together.
And love together.
Of course, in small groups, we sometimes get along without rules.
This is called anarchy.
When many of us play together, rules make the game.
Well, what are the rules of cantaloupe baseball? I'm curious.
Rules help us play fair with each
Jeez,
other,
don't push, Gary.
so all can enjoy the game. Rules that apply equally to all.
Bad form there. That's...
It's up to each one of us to know the rules and follow them.
Someone escaped.
And we can each take part in making the rules more fair and more useful. Inside our school, we also have rules for fair play and for getting along together.
We have a bouncer.
In our library, for example. Here, many of us use the same books and reference materials. So we have set up rules to help make the library a good place to study and read.
Right.
And to help all of us use the books more fairly. Of course, at times, some of us have trouble with the rules.
You're supposed to return the 12-sided dice with this
You
dungeon.
have a book out, overdue, and it's already been renewed once. I can't let you take out another until you bring that book back.
Great poem.
Oh, sure you can. Look, I need that book, and this one too, for an assignment. Now just let me take it out, and I'll bring it back next week.
No, I can't. It's the rule.
Yes, it's the rule. But John needed the book. And he wanted Betty to make an exception to the rule. Of course, she could not make an exception.
Even though they were dating.
But she suggested that John take his problem to the principal.
All right, I will.
You'll be hearing from my lawyer.
So John came to see me,
The narrator.
to ask me to make an exception in his case. What should we tell people who want exceptions to the rules? How can we show them that exceptions are unfair, that they spoil the game? That's it. They spoil the game.
This is that narrator's head.
When you strike out in baseball, would it be fair to ask for an exception for another strike?
Oh, well, yeah, you get 3, right?
When you're in a hurry to get somewhere, you still wait at red lights. You know that exceptions would not be fair. Just imagine having an
executioner?
to
The
decide
hell?
that one person doesn't have to bring books back, but another one does. Would this be fair?
Ugh, nice hat, creep.
Would it be fair to make exceptions and excuse some people from paying fines while making other people
wow,
pay?
the exceptioner accepts kickbacks. Nice.
Well, John finally agreed that rules must apply to everyone.
Especially
That
sinners.
exceptions are unfair. The rules are pretty important after all.
Thanks for seeing things my way.
The rules are so important that we go to a lot of trouble to remind everyone of the rules. We post bulletins that remind us of the rules about fire drills, where to go and what to do, about school activities,
Photography
what
club
they
looks
do
randy.
and how they operate, about safety on the streets near our school.
Turning Cars, the thrilling sequel to Cars Going Straight.
rules for living together.
Rules about how high you must wear your pants.
We have hall guards to remind us of our traffic rules.
Hey, do
in the
that
halls.
again and you see in the exception, a kid. Come on.
Our teachers are always glad to answer questions about the rules.
What's this bullshit about only wearing
Yes,
skirts?
most of the time we remember and respect the rules. But sometimes, some of us have problems because of not knowing the rules or forgetting them.
Yeah, he obviously broke the dress code.
Come in, Alvin.
Mr. Blackwell sent me from gym class. I didn't know we were supposed to bring gym shoes to class today.
Or underwear.
We've been having a class outdoors until today.
Didn't Mr. Blackwell tell the class to bring gym shoes?
Well, I must have been absent that day.
Absent or not listening very carefully?
Ooh, huge burn from the narrator.
Alvin, whose job is it to see that you know the rules?
Stuff?
Sit down.
Alvin.
What could I say? How could I show Alvin his responsibility? How do you convince people that they must learn the rules? Suppose you are watching a game of work-up baseball.
And it's a
Say you've never played it, but you'd like to try. How would you go about learning the rules these fellows use? You'd watch for a while, wouldn't you? If someone caught a fly and traded places with the batter,
I am digging his
well, then
clown
you'd have
pants.
some
Those are
idea
nice.
of one of the rules. And you could look to see where the bases were. They might be just like regular baseball, or perhaps not.
Come here, man. Come
Then
over
if you were
here.
given a chance to play,
Yeah, come
you'd
over
ask
here. Do you
some
like
questions.
rules?
Questions about the rules. And then you'd play.
Right.
And you'd have fun by playing by the rules.
But apparently he wouldn't play that well.
Well, Alvin seemed to understand that it was his responsibility to learn the rules. And he promised to bring his gym shoes the next
Here's
day.
some hush money, kid. Don't tell your mom.
You know, it's worth remembering. When we don't know the rules, or if we forget them, it's just as unfair to others as if we broke the rules on purpose.
Next! Oh.
Now, Ernie, he's one of our hall guards.
Ernie?
He'd been waiting to see me because he had another question about rules.
Yeah, when do I get my gun?
Well, we're having trouble on the west stairway. You see, that's supposed to be up only.
Why?
But at certain times of the day, there's hardly anyone around the halls, and it's handy for some to come down the west stairs. I feel silly telling them not to, but I'm supposed to enforce the rules. Well, Mr. Taylor, the hall guards just don't know what to do.
Maybe find a new hobby, kid.
Well, perhaps that stairway isn't as congested as it was when our traffic rules were set up. Maybe they need changing.
Would you change the rule, Mr. Taylor? That might help.
Well, that's not my rule to change, Ernie.
Union rules.
Don't you remember the student committee planned the hall traffic program?
Those were the days.
But you might like to study the problem, talk it over with the other hall guards, and then make suggestions to the student committee.
That's a good idea. We'll do that. Thank you.
Not at all. That's another important thing to remember about rules. They're set up to meet a need. And we can each take part in changing them if changes are needed.
Did I leave my lights on?
How are rules made? Our school board here in town makes some rules. After all, the parents hold them responsible for making this a good school.
Item 1, find bigger meeting room.
Our state government makes some overall rules for schools to give each one of us a fair chance to learn.
Yeah, this is weekend reading for Ernie.
And we, through our own student representatives, make some of the rules too. They help us find ways of making our life in school smoother and more pleasant and fair for all.
I propose that I be recognized as Waldo. Hey.
Our rules apply equally to all, with no exceptions.
Okay.
That is part of making them fair.
Keep the change, dollface.
Each one of us has the responsibility of learning the rules and remembering to follow them.
Rules rule.
And we can work together to make better rules when we need them.
This is my
And to
finest
use
work.
our rules
Yes.
to help make living at school more happy and worthwhile for all.
Hey, Ernie, it's high time somebody talked to you about how high you wear your pants. We're coming to you as friends. Really, you've got to listen here. All right. Well, I better call Stu and tell him what I think.
Okay, I'm coming, but don't ask for a tip. I don't have anything on me at the moment.
Huh?
No, I thought you were delivering my food. Did you watch the film?
Yeah, I did watch it. It wasn't bad. There were no real clear objectives at the beginning, which wasn't great, and the baseball example was kind of confusing and kind of uneven. And also just, I don't know, I think that it was a little too high of information for the age group. So I wouldn't recommend it.
No, stop. I am going to use the film.
Well, Stu, you really wanted me to...
Listen, it's old, it's funny looking, and she said I could work the projector. I'm going to use it.
Okay, but hang on.
I'm leaving. My Thai food's here.